Hunger no longer exists. When you're using GLP-1 agonists, one of the great things that it does is that it impacts this area of your brain which monitors your appetite. So that is the area 51 of your brain where nobody knows what's going on in those pathways. That's where the food addiction pathways and other sorts of addiction pathways occur also. They kind of overlap in those in that particular area. So these medications somehow magically also impact that area. So you're never really that hungry. Because the thing is
Okay.
that if you have mid gut weight and fat that has accumulated on top of your
Mm-hmm.
liver and
Mm-hmm.
you're suffering
Then
from fatty
okay.
liver obliteration,
Okay.
where your liver infrastructure has been obliterated by the fat cells,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
then it's not just enough to deflate them and remove their inflammation, which will improve some functionality. However, it's better to eliminate as many of them as possible. So, especially the ones that are not visceral, the ones that are still, under your skin, we can treat them
Right.
with devices like cold sculpting, because one of the things that is very special about fat cells is that they shapeshift. So sometimes the ones that are under the skin can get ready to take a deeper dive into the visceral structures, choking them out of their energy. And then sometimes they just escape into your blood supply, where we can measure them in the form of cholesterol. And that's why most people, when they take medications like Lipitor or statins, for instance, it does help them decrease the volume of the bad cells. However, that also does not eliminate the fat from your overall fat burden in your system. So, medications that the sugar neutralizers like GLP-1 agonists, in my view, become very important because sugar is such a toxic substance for your fat cells because it just makes them at a cellular level very greedy, and they just keep storing energy that you're consuming and keep asking for more energy, and they store it in the form of fat cells that may be abnormal. So the cortisol has to be decreased, of course, which also can get decreased by the use of GLP-1 agonists. So, however, there are some side effects. So, some of the side effects, the most common side effects are when you start these medications, are not that terrible. At the most, you will feel like a pregnant woman for the first 2 weeks because you'll feel like a little faint, you will feel a little nauseous. And please don't be scared of the nausea, because that is just a Wi Fi signal from your brain to your body to stop eating and stop feeding yourself unnecessary calories. So the other thing that can happen is that because now you're one of the things that I personally like is that the transit time of food through your gastric system is decreased. So it's increased, not decreased, sorry. So the speed is slow. It's easier for the gut's microbiome to basically look at the food, identify the food that it knows, and take out the nutrients that it needs. So basically, people have to practice intuitive eating while they're on GLP-1 agonists, because learn to listen to your own body, and your body will tell you what nutrients it needs. And then go and eat those foods because you'll feel like eating those foods. And whatever you
Should,
cannot
should people
access.
go? Should people go to the grocery store hungry?
No, they're gonna no. You see, your hunger no longer exists when you're using GLP-1 agonists. One of the great things that it does is that it impacts this area of your brain where which monitors your appetite. So that is the area 51 of your brain where nobody knows what's going on in those pathways. That's where the food addiction pathways and other sorts of addiction pathways occur also. They kind of overlap in those in that particular area. So these medications somehow magically also impact that area. So you're never really that hungry.
Right,
Like
but
food is no longer an obstacle and it's no longer a noise. You eat because you should be feeding yourself
right.
something,
I don't
the
think people also
appropriate
have to
amount
listen
of. Hmm?
to their body that much. That's the thing that I was hinting at. That maybe if you're in the supermarket, you have a lot of things around, and then you see
Yeah.
it, you might say, "Oh, you know, I think I'm
You
gonna."
know, I don't know if it's a supermarket that you'll go in and then you'll magically get attracted to certain aisle, because when you go shopping to supermarkets, they place packaged material in such ways that they basically call out to your addictions.
Right.
So if
If
you're
you're too,
addicted to
yeah.
if I go and talk to my body
Hmm.
while I'm standing in the middle of a shopping store, I will end up purchasing all the wrong things. So intuitive eating, in my opinion, is should go through certain filters when you sit by yourself. So basically, when you sit by yourself, you should like have this conversation with yourself that listen, I need my doctor said I need to eat this amount of protein, this amount of fiber, and I should be taking some vegetables because otherwise I'm going to get constipated. And I'm on this GLP-1 agonist, which is slowing down the passage of food. So I must also hydrate myself and give myself some roughage so that I don't become so sluggish that it just blocks my system.
Mm.
So we basically make that list, and I now advise people to
Put up
put
a call
their
from a
things
nursing
in
home 1 second.
ChatGPT. So ask ChatGPT to make a
I
grocery
guess.
list
I
for
guess
you.
no. I guess this is the question. We have diet recommendations. We have nutrition recommendations. But when you talked about listening to our body and listening to what like to know what to eat, that shouldn't come from outside. It should come from a something like I don't want to say a craving, but a taste for something.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. I think it comes with practice as you go through life. We have to be open to, we
Right.
also
Right.
need to know that how much of it is marketing. So if you're
Mm-hmm,
somebody
hmm.
who's watching TV and has seen, and you start like figuring out what do I need to eat. But before that, I want people to plan their meals and just go on a routine. And then every now and then, of course, you should just
Hmm.
instinctively go and get something if you can, if that is something that you want to do also and your budget allows it. But normally I tell people that, just make sure that you have all the nutrients that you need while you're on GLP-1 agonist. So when people come and do the shots at my office, for instance, I always add some B12 with it, some liver cleanse with it. And then many of the people can also then once a month or once every 2 months come for like an infusion of minerals and antioxidants and other vital amines, because now everybody's eating less. They're having like maybe they feel like having one meal a day, and that one meal they'll try to prepare something that they really like. And sometimes people divide those calories into two meals, but basically they're just hydrating themselves and giving them the adequate proteins and stuff, but they infuse themselves with the nutrients intravenously. So food consumption will become like a little less in the first world, I think, with some of these hacks. However, there are side effects, and the side effects manifest when you go on very heavy doses, for instance. And that can happen with anything, because it's like if you are driving a vehicle which goes up until the speed of 250 miles per hour, does that mean that you're going to go at that speed because go from point A to point B? Because these medications will decrease your unnecessary increased weight. It will monitor them. You'll maintain yourself over a period of time. So I like people to go slow but steadily. However, these medications may decrease the inflammation of your fat cells and release them from hoarding all your energy, and it's not going to eliminate them. So, from certain areas of your body, for instance, your midgut, where all your some of your most vital structures are located, by removing at least the superficial structures would be, I think, very helpful in the long term longevity of anybody's system.
So I have a headline for you. I don't know if you noticed it.
Oh, please tell me.
That Ozempic at 1 milligram weekly is approved by FDA for people with chronic kidney disease and diabetes as a way
Imagine.
to
Wow.
to protect
Kidney
them.
protection.
Uh-huh, yeah. So
I
this
think
is
it
like
will
basically,
it decrease cancer too, because sugar is one of the biggest toxin to create cancer cells and propagate cancer
yeah.
cells.
Well, it seems to be very beneficial in many ways, many different organ systems.
I think the side effects profile uh, is worth noting and worth protecting our patients against, but I think it the benefits outweigh the risks. That's one of the reasons that, because I tell people this, just keep it at like 1 milligram and don't exceed, don't go to
Ask you,
2.5.
I was going to ask you, do you lose anything by keeping the dose low to avoid side effect issues?
Yeah, I that is the reason. It's like, drive the car at 50 miles or 60 miles or 75 miles, and 1 milligram is like 100 miles per
Mhm.
hour. Compare it like that. And then you'll be like, oh no, I shouldn't go to 2.5 unless I'm like 400 pounds and I just can't stop eating. Unless your issue is so bad that
Right,
there's nothing that will stop the noise. Because basically, it will just turn the volume of food noise down,
right,
way down. We used to have this protocol of removing fat cells with a very natural, kind of a natural, not really that natural, but it was HCG shots, which are these hormones that we give to women. And when this is the pregnancy hormone. So we used to give like this pregnancy hormone in microdoses, which would remove your appetite, and it also decreased your fat cell size, and it just prepares the body for pregnancy. So it just makes women feel great, you feel very nourished, you feel very energetic. However, as you remove the weight, we also used to combine it with cool sculpting, so you can permanently remove some burden of fat cells from certain areas of your system. But since GLP-1 agonists have come by, the benefit of GLP-1 is that is a medication that you can be completely on. Like HCG, we couldn't just keep giving women and men all the time, even though at micro doses, a lot of bodybuilders, a lot of, athletes, they do take it because it takes your fat cells and turns them into energy if you go and work out. It turns it into muscle. So a lot of people used to take it, but you can't keep taking it. It's like it has like we used to give it at the most for 12 weeks in a year, or sometimes, just 4 weeks at a time. And some people would just do it to readjust their weight every year. So that because every year people tend to gain like 4, 5, 7 pounds, and they would just, remove those pounds at the end of the year. But GLP-1 agonists, on the other hand, is like an iron dome of sugar neutralizing that you place inside your system. So your body is no longer going to have any kind of sugar spikes. And that's what I like the best about it, that it is something that you'll just, you can just have. Yeah, of course, you'll have to take it. But I think the future humans will think of GLP-1 agonist or such medications as we brush our teeth. It'll be like you'll have to do it for the rest of your life.
right.
Somebody was like, "Oh yeah, so I take it and now I have to take it every day." Yes, if you want to live longer, and you want to keep your system from oxidizing with sugar, then yeah, you might have to consider to take it. And then some lucky ones in the first world countries will have their medical insurances cover this, because if they have diabetes or kidney failure or some disease that gets, where it is cheaper for insurance to give you this, they will give you this, and it may be covered, and everybody will consider you a lucky person, because you will get this very vital medication for your longevity on the house. However, most of the rest of us will have to pay for it for longevity. So if you're not doing it for diabetes, you just need like a microdose, and it's going to just do the
Right.
thing for you. I have people who are doing it for food addiction. So not only they have removed the weight, but now they don't need it's like turning a switch off.
Oh,
So now
it
they don't
was
need it every week. Now like I have a lot of people who are just taking it once a month. So they come for
right.
their monthly intravenous nourishment of supplies of antioxidants and stuff, and then they just get this subcutaneous tiny shot, insulin like shot with them, and then
Yeah.
that's
I
it.
share with you that a lot of benefits of this drug unexpected,
Yes,
including drug addiction and like abuse, like you mentioned. Now it's documented, and
it is. It's b- it,
there's a measurable effect. Uh,
yes. I also realized that in my experience for the past couple of years of giving it to some of my clients who had alcohol addiction.
mhm,
And when I used to bring the medication dose to over 1.25 or 1 point, sometimes, yeah, around 1.25, when I bring it up, people don't want to drink alcohol.
mhm, mhm.
They like, up until 1 is for food addiction, and over 1 is for alcohol and other addictions.
Yeah,
It is going to remove the greed for anything out of your system, whether
I
it
saw a
is
lot of
money, whether it is alcohol, whether it is sex, whether it is whatever is it,
yeah.
whatever dopamine hit that you are craving,
I'll send you
beyond
the
a
reference.
certain healthy point will be
Yeah,
removed.
I'll send you the reference in case you need to have it.
Yes, please
Uh,
send it to me. That
it
will be great.
it's an interesting study. They really look for everything.
Oh, really?
See, what's different between. Yeah, it's a very well done study.
Yes, we live in an exciting time, and especially right now, after like a little while, when David starts his lecture, he will be talking about all these trade wars and stuff like that, and that are commencing. And very soon, like people may find themselves in this quandary where they may not be able to access food that brings them some of these nourishing minerals. And at that point, when food becomes, just a luxury for people who can afford it, it'll be essential for the rest of the people to obtain it via intravenous supplements. You have to,
Right.
like the B12, you no longer need the vitamin C from your oranges, because we're going to give you 100 oranges worth of vitamin C every time you come in.
Yeah, we refer to the Brave New World when we talk about those things.